I had an experience when I was a young fellow. It was the first time I was in America, actually. And I'd had all these intense meetings and what have you, and I had a decision to make. I had 10 different people wanting to be my agent. So I rented a car and I went for a drive. And I went up to San Francisco along the coast, and then I turned inland thinking, well, I've heard of Reno, so I'll go there, right? So I went to Reno, Nevada, and I had X amount of money, right? I was I wasn't, I was doing well in my career, but I didn't have a lot of cash. So I had a couple of $100 in my pocket, that's all, So I went and had a beer, and I started playing blackjack on a $5 table, and it was a single deck. This is how long ago this was, 92 or something, right? So I'm playing, and I did pretty well. I amassed a few $100, feeling very cocky and confident about myself, and I probably just then had one beer too many. And I went for a walk down the street, and I saw a roulette table, and I think, that'll be me, right? Sucker. And so everything I won, I lost. And by the time I sort of got my shit back together, I had $25 in my pocket. I'm in Reno. I got a quarter of a tank of gas, and I got to get back to LA. I don't have a credit card.
Oh, boy.
So as it was, I'd paid for my hotel in advance, so that's all cool. But I was like, okay, I got to sober up here. So I go back to the place I started, back to that same $5 table. And I just very carefully, when I got to like $190, which I knew was going to be enough to get me back with petrol and food and all that, so I stopped. I go out into the car park of this hotel. It's like 11 midnight, something like that. And I just started vibrating, man. My whole body was like shaking, like I was having some kind of fit, And it was just really weird. I got back to the hotel room, and I called my mum, Collect, in New Zealand. And I just did this. I went through this. She goes, "Oh, right, darling. Something I've never told you, but your great-grandfather was a professional gambler. And at one point in time, he gambled his house away. He had to go and get his daughters, wake him up, get his wife, and tell them this is where they no longer live. And that one act kept that family in, relative terms, poor for another 2 generations.
Wow.
That one impulsive act to gamble his house. Yeah, so I know it's in me, so I don't go anywhere near it.